Hello, welcome to the Rich and Simple Living. My name's Maria, and if you're new here, I vlog about homeschooling, home life and urban homesteading, and we throw some air fry cooking into it as well, which is probably comes under the home life. But anyway, today we're doing a homeschool video vlog, and it's a collaboration and it's been hosted by Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads. So I believe there's only a couple of us taking part, but I'll drop the links to their channels in the description box down below. So if you want to have a look what they've done, you'll be able to go across and have a look. But yeah, what it is today, it's Homeschool Room 101. It's based on a TV programme, Room 101. Now, I've never seen the programme. Victoria had to explain to me what the programme was about, and so I hope that I'm going to be doing this right, because like I say, I've never heard of it. I did try to Google it, but what I came across couldn't make much sense of, so I'm not quite sure really what I'm doing. But what it is, it's to do with having categories, and you pick the worst thing out of that category and you abandon it and send it off to Room 101. That's the gist of it. So it's a homeschool Room 101. So there are homeschool categories. So we've got 5 of them. So I'll just go through them and we'll see what's what. So number 1 is homeschool worries. What homeschool worry would I send off to Room 101? Worries. I'm not really sure about worries, because homeschooling was a bit of a relief for us rather than a worry. But I think I would actually send worry to Room 101. This was a hard question. I did have to think about this, but I thought about Sean as well, and thinking, like, what would she worry about? Well, Sean has a worry about this and a worry about that, and like, will she have to do GCSEs? Will I get a job? And what about college? And this, that and the other. She has so many worries because of, she hears her friends talking and she worries about it. And I can see that these worries are totally unfounded, but I cannot sort of get through to her that they are unfounded. There's nothing to worry about. It seems to me like she's worrying just to worry, sort of thing. So I think if I was sending anything to Room 101 about homeschool worries, is actually worry itself. I would like to take the worry, the whole kabundle, and chuck the whole lot into Room 101, because there is nothing to worry about. So that's number 1. Number 2, homeschool read alouds. Which is our worst homeschool read aloud? What would I send to Room 101? Well, we've read a wide variety of books and we've enjoyed the books we've read. We've read a lot of Jacqueline Wilson, excellent books. And in fact, there was only actually one book. We didn't actually dislike it, but there's one book we both agreed on that probably out of all of them, we would chuck into Room 101 and not bother with again. And that is The Explorer. Now, it's not too bad a book. It's readable, but it leaves you with a lot of questions, like who these parents were, why children were alone on a plane that didn't even know each other. They didn't seem to be heading anywhere. It didn't tell you where they were heading. And when they got back again and found civilization, it sort of happened just like that, from being on this abandoned plane, being sent downstream by this explorer that they'd found, and there they were. There was nothing much going on with it. That's what I should say. There wasn't a lot going on with this book. I mean, I'm of mind that I don't go with books for the age groups, because if you enjoy a story and you get a good book, it doesn't matter whether the book's a bit younger for you, whether the book's a bit older for you, or bang on your age group. If you enjoy that book and you're getting some pleasure out of reading that book and it makes sense to you, then there's no age group in my mind. It doesn't matter what age group book you're reading. You can be a child reading an adult book or an adult reading a child's book. If you're enjoying that book and it it is well written and a good read and it makes sense, then it doesn't matter. But the Explorer didn't really do that. It didn't tick all the boxes for us. We came away, and I think it's the only book we ever came away with lots of questions. We were just questioning each other. Well, what do you think? What do you think? We could have rewritten the book with the questions that we were asking each other. So yeah, for homeschool read alouds, I would definitely send the Explorer to room 101. So that was question number 2. So number 3, homeschool naysayer comments. So that's sort of, what do you call them? Not positive comments. Negative comments, that's the word I'm looking for, negative comments. So I'm quite lucky, I suppose, because I've heard about lots of people having lots of negative comments, but I've never had any. People are quite intrigued by what I do and they think it's a good idea, and they speak to Sean and they're always saying how much she knows about certain things, and they realise that she's not learning exactly what they learn in school. She doesn't follow the exact curriculum, and she does do a lot of self-led stuff, and she's getting a lot from that, and they can see that. So I never ever had any naysayer comments, any negative ones. The only time was when I first started. One of my sons turned around and said, "But Mum, what about her friends? She won't have any friends." And I had to remind him, say to my son, "We're just homeschooling. We're not going to the moon." And she's still got a friend. She's got friends that she had in school, and she's never alone, never ever alone. And he's never said it again because he's realised this, and she's quite happy. So I suppose I've been very lucky, because I know there's people who do get a lot of comments and, things like that about it, a lot of questions. But no, we've never really had any problems with it whatsoever. Whether people say anything behind the back, I don't know, but I've never ever heard nothing, and nobody's ever said anything bad about it. So yeah, we've been quite fortunate there. So I suppose if I'm sending anything to room 101, it was my son's one and only comment about what about her having friends, not realising she'd already got friends anyway. I think he realised afterwards. But yeah, that's the only comment I can say that I would have chucked in room 101, because apart from that, we've been very lucky not had none. So number 4, homeschool subjects. Well, but you can all imagine what I'm going to say here. Those of you who've been watching this for a while will know exactly what we're going to say. Me and Sean both agreed on it. If we could send one to room 101, well, actually, we've got 2 here, but the first one that jumps to mind is maths. Despite what the Prime Minister said yesterday about everybody's got to do maths up until they're 18, some form of maths, despite all of that, I'm sorry, but I'd stick it in room 101. But then, having said that, we do maths, but we do maths that Sean needs to know, the basics and the important things for handling finances and stuff like that. And that's the sort of thing that, we feel is important. We do regular. So that wouldn't be going in room 101. It's your things like your Pythagoras and your square root and stuff like that. But I've got a feeling maybe the Prime Minister was talking about that yesterday, say, in terms of like business type maths and, the sort of maths that you need for things like that. Well, I hope that's what he means anyway, because I really can't see the point of all your Pythagoras's and A equals B and all that, I just hope it's a basic maths that's important when you grow up. But that's the sort of maths we do. So it's the other kind that we'd throw into room 101. But like I said, there was 2 things. Another thing we'd chuck in there with it, sneaking, I don't know if we're allowed to in each category, but this definitely did, 2 jumped into mind. The other one was science. Sean does not like science. We've done the Key Stage 3 science book and finished that, and we're doing science in a different format now. Not in the traditional way that includes all of your chemistry and things like that. So I bundled that in with the maths. Well, not the total maths, but the complicated maths that most people don't want to do and would never use again. So that's what I'd bundle up and chuck off into room 101, and I'd lock the darn door on it as well. So it never got out. So yeah. That one's that. We knew the answer to that one straight away. Number 5, homeschool supplies. Which would we send to room 101? What's the worst homeschool supply we've ever had? Well, I tend to buy things that we need, and it's mostly a lot of pens and books and things like that to write in, I think, well, there's 2 things actually. There was one book we did chuck straight in, and funnily enough, that was a maths book. That was a year 7 maths book. It was well beyond Sean's years, and we did sling that. We chucked it to a charity shop. So that would have gone in room 101. But another thing that jumped to mind, a supply that I wouldn't have again. I don't know if you've seen them. That, like those little Tipex mice. They're like little nice things, and you run them across your mistake. And it's supposed to be like a white strip that covers over your mistake so you can rewrite over it. And it's like a plastic strip. Well, what a farce. We had one of them because it fit in a pencil case, lovely, won't spill or nothing. Oh dear. You roll it on. As I was rolling to the end, it was coming off the other end. So you could just pull it and it peeled off. And then when we did get one to manage to stick, then write on it in pen, because obviously it's not like the wet Tipex, you can write on them straight away. It was coming off in the pen and ravelling in the nib of the pen. So the nib of the pen was just all white. So you're trying to pick it off, and then you're getting covered in ink and covered in all this stuff. And I thought, no, we're not having no more of that. I went straight to Poundland from that point onwards, and I bought the proper Tipex where you dip your brush in and sort of paint it on. Even if you've got to wait for it to dry, you can come back to that bit later, and it's much better, much, much better. So I will never, ever have another one of those like little Tipex mice, correction mices, whatever they're called, correction rollers, I don't know what they're called, but I wouldn't have one of them again. I'd definitely throw that into room 101. Waste of time and waste of money. Definitely stick to a normal tub of Tipex. So yeah, they were the 5 things that we would throw in room 101, me and Sean. We both agreed on most of all of them. Most of all of them. That's not a phrase, is it? Agreed on all of them. But yeah, that's it. So for homeschool worries, it'd be Worry Itself. For homeschool read aloud, it would be the Explorer book. For naysayer comments, we're lucky we've never had any, but except for one that my son gave saying about not having friends. That would be that one. Homeschool subjects, science, your complicated sciences, like chemistry and things like that, plus your complicated maths, they would go in together. And homeschool supplies would be one of those silly little Tipex mices. So that's it. That's my 5. I mean, we're pretty lucky. Everything that we've got and we do is what we want, is what we enjoy. We don't have any hassles with anything at all. So, yeah, it's quite good. And with homeschooling, if something is giving you a problem or anything like that and it's not working, you can change it anyway, whether it's something as simple as a supply, whether it's something, that you're reading or a subject you're doing. It's all changeable. You can alter it around, and that's the beauty of it. That's the great thing. So, yeah, that's it for my 5 homeschool room 101s. It's quite a mouthful to say that, actually. And I hope you've enjoyed hearing that. I'm going to go across and watch the others now, what the others have done. And I hope you'll do the same. So I'll pop the links down below, like I said. And next time I see you now will be on Friday. That's if you want to join me on Friday, of course. Friday's going to be an air fryer day. We're going to have a go at another recipe. I'm quite enjoying doing all this, Quite enjoy doing the air fryer. I didn't think I'd get on with it at first. And there's still things I haven't used now. I haven't grilled, I haven't steamed. But I think I need to get used to using one feature at a time till I'm very confident with it. And then might go into the next feature. So, yeah, still plenty of time for me to blow it up yet. So, anyway, like I say, I'll see you on Friday. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you soon. Bye.